Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment when a woman stops explaining, stops chasing, stops proving, not out of anger, not out of pride, but from a place of peace and power, and when you go silent, truly silent. A man's mind doesn't rest, it races. Today, I want to walk you through exactly what he thinks, day by day, when your presence disappears and your silence speaks louder than words ever could, because your absence. It teaches him what your presence once gave. He tells himself you're just busy. That's what men do when they're trying to protect their ego from the storm that silence brings. He stares at his phone, waiting for a message that doesn't come. He checks the time, wonders if maybe you're napping, or tied up with friends, or scrolling through something meaningless. But the truth is starting to press against his skin, and it feels like desire mixed with danger. In the beginning, he convinces himself you're probably curled up under a blanket somewhere, just too relaxed to reach out. Maybe your day got hectic. Maybe you're unwinding in silence, wrapped in soft sheets and candlelight. He wants to believe that your stillness has nothing to do with him, but deep down, something in his gut tightens, because the pattern is different now. The warmth of your good morning, or your thinking of you, has vanished, and even though he pretends not to care, that space you left behind. It's becoming uncomfortable. He's not used to not being the center of your universe. What really gets him isn't your words, it's the lack of them, the way your voice used to kiss his ears before bed, the way you used to make his name sound like a secret. It's all gone. No trace, no signal, just space, and it's in that space where his fantasies start to twist. He remembers the last time your fingers brushed his skin, how your laugh made his chest feel full. He imagines you now, lying somewhere else, untouched but glowing, or worse, touched by someone else. That image teases and tortures him. Your silence is seductive. It makes him restless in ways he doesn't know how to explain. It makes the memory of your body feel urgent. It makes him miss the way your lips curled when you whispered something just for him, the way your breath would deepen when he got too close, the way your energy filled up a room even when you said nothing. He starts thinking maybe you're slipping away. Maybe you've found peace in the arms of your own company. Maybe the softness of your pillow is more comforting than the idea of waiting on him to get it right. That thought, it messes with his rhythm. He loses track of time, of hunger, of logic. All he can think about is why the silence between you suddenly feels louder than anything you ever said. He wonders if you've replaced the feeling of his hands with warm bathwater and silk sheets. He pictures you relaxed, undone, untouched by his absence, and that drives him wild, not in a way he can enjoy, but in a way that gnaws at his pride. It's not that you're mad, it's worse. You're quiet. You're calm. You're glowing without him. The nights hit harder now. He used to close his eyes knowing you'd be there, in a message, in a photo, in a dream. But now his mind drifts to places he can't control. To how your body felt next to his, to how your silence feels heavier than your moans ever did, to how the craving he feels isn't just for your body, it's for your presence, that look you gave when you trusted him, that touch you offered when you felt safe, that surrender, that's no longer his, and he doesn't know if it ever will be again, because now you're quiet, you're focused, you're soft, but unreachable. And he's left trying to understand how the woman who once craved him now lives without him, effortlessly, and that kind of mystery, that kind of silence, it doesn't go unnoticed. It doesn't go unfelt. It drives him insane. He replays the last conversation over and over in his mind. It's no longer just words. It becomes a scene, a moment trapped in time, filled with unsaid truths and lingering tension. He begins to dissect everything, your tone, your pauses, even the spaces between your words. It's like he's searching for a hidden message, a secret code tucked between syllables that might explain your silence. And that obsession, it grows with every hour you remain distant. He remembers the way your eyes held his, just a second too long before you looked away. The way your fingers lingered at the edge of his shirt, as if trying to memorize him one last time. He recalls how your voice softened near the end, how it almost cracked, but didn't. He's wondering now, was that goodbye? Did he miss the shift while he was too busy being comfortable? And now that comfort is replaced with unease, that security with longing. In the dead of night, when the world quiets down and the room gets too still, he lays there staring at the ceiling, hearing your silence louder than any storm. He wants to believe this is temporary, but the doubt creeps in, sensual and slow. It slides under his skin, tracing over his chest like the ghost of your touch. That invisible weight presses down on him, making sleep feel like a battlefield. He's not used to being the one awake at night, wondering if he still lives in your thoughts. Now the pillow beside him feels colder, the sheets more lonely, the air too quiet. He turns over, checks his phone again. Nothing. That unread message. It doesn't exist, but he wishes it did. Something. Anything, even a simple hey, even your breath, your sigh, your tease, but you've gone still, and in that stillness he's unraveling. His body remembers more than he wants it to. The scent of your neck when you pulled him close. The heat of your skin when your guard was down. The way your hands guided him without ever saying a word. Those memories are now tangled with guilt. Did he miss the moment you started slipping away? Did he think you'd always be there, soft and waiting, while he took his time learning how to love you back? Now that you're quiet, he realizes the last conversation wasn't ordinary. It had an edge, a softness laced with a decision you'd already made. But he didn't see it, he didn't hear it, and now it plays like a broken lullaby in his head. Seductive and haunting. He walks through his day distracted, agitated. His friends notice. His rhythm is off. He's jumpy. It's not about missing attention. It's about missing connection. The way your presence grounded him. The way your touch steadied his chaos. He misses the safety of your laughter, the warmth of your stare, the quiet promise of your body curling into his. And when night falls again, that hunger hits different. It's not just a craving, it's a reckoning. His hands remember the way you held onto him, not out of need, but out of desire. That kind of intimacy doesn't fade easily. It clings to his skin, whispers to his senses, invades his dreams. Now every moment of silence is filled with flashes. Your bare shoulder under moonlight, your voice humming softly as sleep stole you, the way you used to pull the covers tighter around both of you like you were trying to keep the world out. And now you're gone, or at least that's how it feels. He's no longer wondering if you're busy. He's wondering if he's already lost you, and just didn't realize it until your silence became louder than love. He starts to sense something is off, but he can't quite put his finger on it. At first, the silence is just a quiet hum in the background of his life, but with each passing day, it begins to echo louder. It's a presence that lingers like a shadow, making everything feel different. And as much as he wants to ignore it, to brush it off like he always does with the small, nagging doubts, something shifts deep within him. It's subtle, but it's there. He feels it in his chest, tight and uneasy, as if something precious is slipping away, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. He can't help but replay the moments when you were still close, the moments when your touch seemed to hold more meaning than just physical warmth, the way your lips would trace his skin, leaving marks that he would carry long after the moment had passed, the way you'd let him in fully, not just with your body but with your soul. You'd give him pieces of yourself, ones he never asked for, but ones he cherished as if they were treasures, and now all of that feels distant, like a dream fading as he wakes. Every night he lies awake, staring into the darkness, wishing he could feel that closeness again. He doesn't just miss your body next to his, he misses the way you used to ignite him with a single look, a casual touch, the way you'd whisper things only meant for his ears. Those subtle, almost imperceptible ways you'd pull him closer, make him crave you more, leave him wanting more even when you weren't touching him. That pull, that tension, it's what he can't find in the silence. And as the days pass, it's like something inside of him starts to unravel, piece by piece. He wonders if you're still remembering the softness of his kisses, the heat of his hands on your skin, the way his body fit perfectly with yours. Was it just him that felt it, or did you feel it too? The way your heart beat faster when he touched you, the way his scent lingered on you long after you were apart. He used to be able to sense your mood in the curve of your neck, the tension in your shoulders, the way you pressed yourself closer when you needed him. But now, it feels like there's a wall between you, one that wasn't there before. And no matter how hard he tries, he can't figure out how to break it down. The silence starts to sting. It's not just quiet, it's deafening. He feels it in his chest, in his fingertips, in his breath, and it haunts him in ways he wasn't prepared for. The moments when he would wait, eager, to hear your voice or to feel the warmth of your touch are now replaced by an aching emptiness. He lies there, wishing that the intimacy you once shared wasn't lost in the quiet. And now, as he waits for something to break the silence, he feels the fear creeping in. Is it too late? Has he already lost the spark between you? As much as he tells himself that you're just busy, that you'll reach out when you're ready, he can't help but wonder if this is the beginning of the end. He imagines you laying in your own bed, turning away from the thoughts of him, and he can't help but feel a pang of jealousy. What if you're sleeping alone? What if your bed has become a place of comfort, a space where you've started to find peace in solitude rather than togetherness? What if, in your quiet moments, you've started to crave something else? Something he hasn't given you. His mind races, desperate for a clue. He wonders if you've found someone else who knows how to touch you the way he did. Someone who listens to your unspoken needs, who understands the rhythms of your body, who knows how to make you feel wanted, desired, loved. The thought of that burns him. The image of you with someone else twists in his stomach, not from possessiveness, but from the knowledge that he let things slip away, that he didn't cherish you when he had the chance, that he wasn't there when you needed him, when your body craved his, when your soul was calling for him to fill the space you both once shared. And with every day that passes, he can't shake the feeling that he's losing something more than just a connection. He's losing intimacy, the kind that went beyond the surface, the kind that made him feel alive, electric, a part of something deeper. And now that he feels your absence, he can't help but wonder if it's already too late to find his way back to you. His mind starts to wander, drawn into the labyrinth of possibilities, all stemming from the same question, asterisk what happened, asterisk at first. He brushes it off, telling himself you're just busy. Life moves fast, and maybe you've simply gotten caught up in the rush. But soon his thoughts begin to spiral, each one darker than the last, until he can't deny the tension building inside him. The silence that once felt soothing, familiar, has now become a suffocating presence that wraps around him, tightening with every passing day. He remembers the days when the sound of your voice could calm him in an instant. When you were close, your laughter, your soft sighs, the way your body would lean into his, all of it felt like a secret language they shared. It wasn't just about being together physically. It was about the magnetic pull that existed between you two. The way you'd touch him, softly at first, just a brush of your fingertips against his arm, and then your closeness would ignite something deeper. There was always a sense of intimacy, of shared warmth, of longing that seemed to pulse beneath the surface, and now that's gone. In its place there's a hollow space, and he can't help but wonder where the spark went. Where did the passion, the craving, the connection disappear to? He replays your last moments together, trying to find any sign that you were still as connected as before, but nothing stands out. The words you said seemed to float in the air, light, almost detached. Your touch had lost its electricity, and your gaze no longer held the same depth. And in that moment, he realized he was no longer certain if you felt what he felt anymore. He knows it's more than just a loss of words. It's a loss of touch, a loss of the warmth that used to flow between your bodies. The nights when he would reach out to pull you closer, feeling the comfort of your skin against his, those nights now feel like distant memories. He can still remember the way you'd curl into him, the way your breath would slow as you both surrendered to the stillness of the night, the way your bodies seemed to understand each other's rhythms without a word being spoken. That intimacy, that connection, was everything, but now, even the thought of it sends a shiver of uncertainty through him. Did it mean as much to you as it did to him? Each night, as he lies awake, he starts to question if he's the only one left feeling the pull of the past. His body remembers what it felt like to be tangled up with you, to share those stolen moments when you were both so present, so alive in each other's touch. The way your hands would trace the lines of his body, teasing him, exploring him in ways that left him aching, wanting more. The heat of your lips pressed against his neck, your breath a whisper against his ear, sending shivers down his spine. Those moments were electric, unforgettable, but now those memories only serve to highlight the emptiness in the space where you used to be. As the silence stretches on, he starts to feel the weight of it. Not just the physical absence, but the emotional distance that seems to grow with every minute that ticks by. There was once a time when he could feel you without even being close to you, when he could sense your mood, your desires, your needs before you even spoke them. But now there's a barrier. It's as if you've locked a part of yourself away, and he's standing on the other side, desperate to understand what's changed, but unsure how to reach you. His thoughts begin to spiral. He wonders if he's losing you, not just your presence, but the intimacy you once shared, that connection that went beyond words or actions. Is this the beginning of the end? Has he already let go of the intimacy that once seemed unbreakable? He knows he should reach out, try to bridge the gap, but something holds him back. Maybe it's fear. Fear that any attempt to close the distance between you will only make the silence louder, more oppressive. But he can't ignore the feeling that something deeper is at stake. He wants to reach you, not just for the physical intimacy, but for the closeness, the vulnerability you shared when you were together. There was a time when he could touch you and feel your soul respond, when your bodies fit together like puzzle pieces, perfectly aligned, each movement an expression of longing, desire, and trust. That kind of connection doesn't just fade. It's either nurtured or it slips away unnoticed until you're left wondering what happened. It starts with a feeling he can't quite name. There's a shift in the air, like a crack in a once unbreakable foundation. At first, it's faint, just a subtle difference he notices when you're in the same room. He catches glimpses of you pulling away, just enough to leave him wondering if his touch no longer carries the weight it once did. What happened to those moments when you'd lock eyes from across the room and his heart would beat just a little faster? What happened to those nights when he couldn't wait to feel you next to him, when your breath on his skin was the most intoxicating thing he could imagine? It's not just the absence of your touch. It's the absence of your energy, the subtle exchange that once made him feel so alive in your presence. There were nights when he couldn't wait to press his lips to your neck, feel your body respond to his touch, when everything else faded into the background, and all that existed was the connection between the two of you. That space between you, where your desires, your emotions, your needs, they all blended into something deeper, something real. But now it's different. Now there's an unsettling quiet. The chemistry that once made the air crackle between you feels muted, like a dimmed light that he can barely recognize. He starts to feel like he's losing something precious, something he took for granted. Every gesture he makes now feels uncertain, like he's testing the waters, unsure if you still respond the same way. He remembers how it used to be, how just the brush of his hand against yours could ignite a fire, how your body would lean into his, craving that connection. But now, when he reaches out, it's as if something is holding you back. He wonders if you've started to crave something different, something he can't provide. In the quiet moments, when he's lying next to you, he feels the distance between you more keenly than ever. It's as if the intimacy that once felt like second nature now requires more effort than ever before. He longs to reach out to you, to bring you closer, but there's a hesitation, a fear that any move might be misread. The touch he once knew would send waves of warmth through your body now seems to have lost its magic. Is it that your needs have changed, or has something deeper shifted? A feeling that he can't quite pinpoint. He knows the answer lies somewhere between the silences, the looks that no longer linger, the touches that no longer leave him breathless. He begins to question himself. What's happened to the intimacy you once shared? The kind of closeness that wasn't just physical but emotional, the kind that made every moment feel charged with something unspoken, a promise of more. The touch that spoke volumes, the kisses that held meaning beyond the moment, the simple act of being near each other that felt like an unbreakable bond. It's as if that connection has been lost in the silence, and no matter how hard he tries, he can't seem to find his way back to it. But the question he can't stop asking himself is whether you're still looking for that connection too. Does he still stir something in you the way you once stirred in him? He remembers the nights when his body would ache for you, when your touch would send him spiraling into a place where time stopped, and all that mattered was the pull between you two. The connection was more than just physical. It was mental, emotional. It was the kind of intimacy that made you feel like you were one person, not two. And now, it's as though that intimacy is slipping through his fingers like sand. He tries to cling to the memories, but even those seem to fade in the absence of something real. There's a growing sense of panic, a fear of irrelevance. He can't help but wonder if the silence you've chosen is a sign, a quiet message that you've found something, or someone else. It's not that he doesn't trust you, it's that he doesn't trust the space between you. Has your need for each other faded, like the embers of a fire that was once bright and fierce? Or is there still hope, still a chance to reignite that spark, to feel the heat that once burned so brightly between you? As the days go on, he begins to understand that the silence is louder than any words you could say. It's not just about what's missing physically, but what's missing emotionally. The intimacy, the connection, the closeness. It's all still there, but it's buried under layers of doubt and fear, and the longer he waits, the harder it feels to break through. Every time he reaches for you, every time he tries to bring the passion back, there's a hesitation, a reluctance that feels as though it's growing. He wonders if you'll ever let him in again, or if you've already closed the door. He feels that familiar ache in his chest, the longing for the intimacy you once shared, but now it seems like he's chasing something that's slipping away. There's a chill in the air, something unspoken that clings to the space between you both. He can't put his finger on it, but he feels it deep in his bones, an unsettling tension that seems to hang over every moment you share. At first, he thought it was just a passing phase. Maybe you were tired, stressed, or just caught up in the whirlwind of life. But as the days go by, he can't shake the feeling that something has shifted. The connection that once felt so natural, so effortless, now feels like a fragile thread that could snap at any moment. The intimacy that used to come so easily between you both now feels distant, almost unattainable. He used to be able to read your body like an open book, to feel the subtle signs of your desire, the way your breath would hitch when he got close, or the way your skin would glow when he touched you. Those moments, those little gestures, were once enough to speak volumes without saying a word, but now it's as though your body language has become a mystery, something he can no longer decipher. The electric connection that once sparked between you two seems to have fizzled out, and he's left wondering if he's still the one who can ignite that fire. He tries to keep the silence at bay, to fill the empty spaces with words or actions that might remind you of the passion you once shared. But no matter how hard he tries, it feels like you're slipping away, like his touch no longer sends the same shivers down your spine, or like his words no longer carry the weight they once did. He remembers how you would respond to his every move, how your bodies seemed to fit together like puzzle pieces, each touch an unspoken promise, each kiss a declaration of your shared connection. But now, those moments feel like distant memories, as though they belong to another time, another version of your relationship. He can't help but feel that something has changed within him as well. The way he once craved your presence, your touch, that undeniable pull between you, seems to have waned. It's as if the very essence of your connection has been muted, replaced by a quiet distance that neither of you can ignore. He wonders if you still desire him the way you used to, if your body still responds to his touch in the same way it did when everything was new, when everything felt like it was full of possibility. As the silence stretches on, he starts to question whether he's the only one holding on to the past. He finds himself replaying moments in his mind, trying to pinpoint where things went wrong, where the spark between you two dimmed. He remembers the nights when your bodies would come together in perfect harmony, when the world around you would fade away, and all that mattered was the connection you shared. The heat, the passion, the desire, those moments felt like they were meant to last forever. But now, he's left wondering if those moments were just a fleeting illusion, something that can't be recaptured. He tries to reach out to you, to reconnect, but it feels like he's walking on eggshells. He's afraid that any wrong move might push you further away, that any attempt to rekindle the fire between you might only highlight the distance that has grown between you. Every time he looks at you, he wonders if you still see him the way you once did, if you still crave him the way you used to. The uncertainty eats at him, gnaws at him, and the more he thinks about it, the more he realizes that he can't bear to lose the closeness you once shared. He starts to wonder if the silence between you is a reflection of something deeper, something more profound than just a lack of communication. Is it that you're both afraid to acknowledge what's happening, that maybe you're both holding back, unwilling to confront the changes that have taken place in your relationship? He knows that intimacy is fragile. It requires vulnerability, trust, and an openness to share not just your body, but your soul. And yet, it feels like something is missing. The easy laughter, the gentle teasing, the way your bodies would naturally come together, those things seem to have faded, and he's left with a hollow space where they once were. What's even more unsettling is the feeling that he's losing you, not just physically, but emotionally. He used to be able to feel your presence in the room, to sense your energy even when you weren't speaking. But now, when you're near him, there's a disconnect, a wall that's risen between you. The desire, the attraction, it's still there, but it feels out of reach, like something he can't quite touch, can't quite grasp. The passion that once fueled your connection now feels like a distant memory, something he can only dream of but never quite hold on to. The question that lingers in his mind is whether it's too late to find that intimacy again. Has the space between you grown so wide that it's impossible to close the gap? Or is there still a chance to rediscover what you once had? He can't shake the feeling that something has shifted permanently, that the closeness you once shared has been replaced by something cold, something distant. But deep down, he knows that if there's any hope left, it will require both of you to be willing to face the silence, to confront the distance that has grown between you, and to rekindle the spark that once made everything feel so alive?